Alright, so before we get started with this review, I had a pretty interesting idea as far as Hungry Joker goes when I do my reviews. I was thinking, since, I talked in my previous video regarding Hungry Joker and how rankings are very important as far as Hungry Joker goes for its survival, I thought it'd be interesting if here on YouTube we do a little experiment, and every week we post our top 3 manga that we read that particular week, top chapters that were interesting for that week from Shonen Jump, and see if here on YouTube Hungry Joker is really doing it big, or, is it like different from America than Japan? Is it really that way? Just a little interesting experiment. So from now on, every Hungry Joker chapter review, let me know what you guys think as far as the rankings go. You could post, Hungry Joker this week was like number 1, Naruto was number 2, Bleach was number 3, or, whatever from Jump. There's a lot of titles in Jump: Naruto, One Piece, Bleach, Beelzebub, Hungry Joker, there's a lot of different titles, so anything from Jump you can choose. I'll calculate it and whatnot, and every week I'll say, where it stood. If Hungry Joker won, what was the top, I guess I'll say 5, because, a lot of people have all sorts of different choices, so I'll say the top 5. But you guys post your top 3 every weekend. We'll see exactly which manga is standing where, and if Hungry Joker truly is doing well over here. Alright, so this particular chapter, very interesting. Again, another solid, awesome one. A lot of action, and it seems like he's coming out blazing, the mangaka. Like, he is trying his damnedest not to get canceled early, and it clearly shows, because he is putting so much effort into adding intensity, suspense, action, and just, all around interesting story, and I'm loving it. I really hope he can keep this up and we can keep this series going. For starters, in the chapter, we learn about the apple, that a couple different things. First of all, he can only control gravity for 5 minutes after taking a bite out of the apple, so he has to continuously keep on taking bites every 5 minutes in order to sustain the gravity power. That's pretty interesting, because it limits, his power, and basically if he doesn't have the apple, if somebody takes it away, that also opens up side stories. But I have a feeling that after a certain given point of him eating the apple, he probably won't need the apple for that particular thing, or it might morph into something else. So I can't wait to see what's going on with that, because the apple also has a side effect to him. We start seeing blood coming down from his mouth after he eats it a couple times, takes a bite. So he's probably going to have something wrong with his body as well, like, as far as maybe it's going to destroy his insides or something, and eventually he won't need the apple, or, something's going to happen with the apple, because I think that it's going to morph into something different after, like, it has a side effect. Also, at the same time, there's only a 5-minute limit. If somebody takes his apple away, he'll be helpless. So I really want to see what's going on with that apple. And this particular chapter, when he's in the hospital, laid up there, that nurse, I didn't really even suspect that there was anything wrong with the nurse, to be honest with you. It really caught me off guard, and I like that. He's in the hospital. He's with Chitose. I know her first name is Torioji, but I prefer to call her Chitose because it's really simple. And basically they're in the hospital chilling, and then the nurse is like, oh, let me get that apple, and all of a sudden she turns into this big freaking monster. And I love that, like, the creations that this mangaka brings as far as these monsters. It's like, there's so much mystery. What's going on? Why are there monsters? And then when he escapes from the room going down the hospital, you just see the entire hospital filled with monsters. What is up with that? It definitely has something to do with that old man that we saw in the end of last chapter, chapter 1. It definitely has something to do with him. He's testing Haiji to see exactly where he can go and where's his strength gonna follow. And that one guy that was with the smile that we saw in this last chapter and in this chapter, I'm guessing that he's probably Haiji's brother, I want to say, because he says something along the lines of, you're not the sibling that is supposed to possess this apple. So maybe that old man could be some sort of relative, maybe a father to Haiji and this other kid as well. Maybe they're brothers. He keeps referring to the other guy, though, as God. So that was interesting. I wonder why he's calling it. Is that just his nickname? Is that his name? And it seems as though he knows him as well. It wasn't really clear their relationship or whatnot in this chapter, but he definitely knew of him, and when he was flying around, he was actually looking for him. If that God guy is related to him, it kind of reminds me in a way, I don't know if any of you have seen the series called Inuyasha. It kind of seemed as though in a way that he's trying to take the apple, kind of like how Sesshomaru was trying to take Tetsaiga away from Inuyasha. So right there, that kind of reminds me of Inuyasha. But then there's also like a similarity to Dead Man Wonderland, when that building just gets chopped in half and is falling down, and then he just grabs it with the gravity. At first, you don't think he's going to be able to do it because you thought that the apple was taken away, and then he just stops a freaking 10-story skyscraper. It's like, 2 chapters in and the character's already busted out moves. This is also, you could say, similar to how Toriko started, because this guy isn't coming off weak. He isn't starting off as a moron or anything like that. You know, not a brand new beginning, so to speak. I mean, it's starting off like with just learning different things. It's not like the world is set in stone yet. But he's starting off with like just incredible powers that, like, you know, he can stop a 10-story skyscraper. So, you know, definitely some comparisons to other mangas. Nothing like rip off or anything like that. But I can just see some similarities, and I'm loving the way that he's combining them and putting his own little twist to it. It's really looking just epic. And it was interesting to see his reaction with a smile when all the danger is going on, because prior to that there was a little thing with the nurse, and he doesn't really know how to process emotions very well. And I really think that's another awesome depth to the character of what happened in his past, and eventually down the road we'll learn why is he like this, that, you know, he doesn't have a good grasp of emotions and how to react to certain situations. And I really like that. Another neat thing, and it kind of reminds me of, I don't know if any of you see that show Dexter. Haiji kind of reminds me of Dexter in a way. Not that he has, you know, this fascination with murdering people, but, like, you know, corpses, he's naming them James. You know, he doesn't really know how to control emotions. So I definitely say that Haiji is a pretty interesting character thus far. And then the end really was freaking epic when the apple was seemingly stolen, and I'm thinking, oh shit, you know, it's over. He don't got the apple, he can't do nothing. And he planted a bomb in a fake apple and basically got the guy down, God, or, you know, whoever this guy is, and says that, you know, he got a lot of questions to ask him. Definitely an explosive way to end the chapter. Like I said, this mangaka is coming in blazing with, you know, just action, suspense, just so much to it. He is making sure that us as readers are going to want to read this 100, 200, 500 chapters later, because he's definitely adding in a lot of elements. And after chapter 2, again, I'm stunned and I'm like, where's chapter 3? Can I get chapter 3, please? I want to know more about this interesting world of Hungry Joker. You know, there's so much mysteries. Where are these monsters coming from? Who is this god guy? What's up with this apple? Who is the old man? What is up with Haiji's past? Is there anything interesting about his assistant? Because thus far, Chitose is just like shocked. She is, to me, she is the Krillin, she is the Usopp thus far of the series, as far as like, she's a regular girl, and all of a sudden she's bursted into this wild world with this crazy doctor guy, this monsters and everything. So that's where I'm getting the vibe from her thus far. And all around, again, an awesome, very action-packed chapter, and I can't wait to see where it's going to go and learn so many of these mysteries, because we're 2 chapters in and I already have so many questions about the world of Hungry Joker, and, you know, just what's going to happen with this god guy. Who is he? Who's the old man? So many questions. I can't wait to see what happens. Let me know what you think, though. What did you think of this chapter? Do you see promise with this series? Because I see, after, again, this chapter, a lot of, you know, promise and what's going to happen. And also, do you think that that God guy that Haiji keeps calling God, is that his brother? Was that just a same sibling? Or, you know, what's up with that? And are they in any relation to that old man from chapter 1 at the end? Comment section below. Overall thoughts, video response. But that's all I have for you guys today. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Thumbs up if you can't wait to get some of these answers, because Hungry Joker thus far is really showing me that there's hope for a new generation of manga. As always, people, have an awesome day.